Rogue Company. You've seen all the streamers, YouTubers, content creators, everyone's making videos about this game, and it's for a good reason. The game is definitely addicting and generally just fun. You know, it's a hero shooter, so it has that kind of feeling of discovery, of, discovering what the characters can do, what they're capable of, their play styles, and it really works nice. It really works well. Um, Probably the best way for me to describe this game to you is maybe CS:GO, Overwatch, and The Division kind of melded together into one nice little game that Hi-rez themselves created. Um, but yeah, before I get more into it, I do want to let you guys know that the game has only been out for about a week and a half maybe. So a lot of things that I talk about later on in the video are definitely subject to change, and hopefully they do change pretty soon because I'm loving this game, and if they just do those small fixes, I definitely think a lot more people are gonna flock to this game. But no, yeah, Rogue Company is a hero shooter, as I was saying earlier. With everyone being able to kind of mix and match their builds, have different play styles because of what gun they choose, or different gadgets they might be using, that sort of thing. And it really lends to the interesting plays that people can come up with. But the gunplay in Rogue Company, I described The Division, and I think that holds very true. Now, another thing to talk about are the maps in Rogue Company. The maps in Rogue Company are generally long and not very wide, which makes more of a lane kind of system. If you played MOBAs sort of like Smite or League of Legends, that sort of thing, you got mid lane, right lane, left lane, that sort of thing, and then little pathways in between them for rotations and such, flanks, that sort of idea. And because of this, the tempo of the game is much faster. It can be extremely fast, or it can be extremely slow. It's one of the two. There's no real in between, in my opinion. But you're in there. You're in that game. You don't know if someone's behind you, in front of you. You gotta stay on your feet, type of thing. Now, for teams, just by looking at this, it's a team game. Obviously, you've played, Call of Duty. You played Rainbow Six Siege, those sort of things. It's a team game, so having a team is definitely recommended from me personally as well. It's just playing solo with no communication is very difficult in this game, because this is a team game. Now, granted, I normally play, I should say, the demolition game mode, not so much as the strikeout, I think it's called. And you can play either one. They're both objective game modes, and it's just with no communication, it is very difficult. And that's not even to mention some bad parts about the game, which are that people don't take the game modes very seriously, I should say, kind of, because there's no ranked mode just yet. And people will pop in, start a match, they'll play maybe for like 1 or 2 rounds, and they're gone, they leave. Or they're AFK in the back holding the bomb, that sort of thing. So you will run into those sort of people when playing the game, until maybe a ranked comes out, or ranked mode. That's probably the best fix for that problem. But if that's not too big of a problem, because there are communities in on PlayStation already, so you're gonna be able to make a team or such if need be. But yeah, that's the teams. Another thing I want to point out is that the game is still fresh. You know, I mentioned it's been a week. It's been only a week. So people are still finding different ways to use characters, different, you know, techniques, or, you know, different angles to watch with certain character abilities. Like, it's really cool. People are coming up with awesome stuff to do in this game on the different maps that you can play on, and it's real nice. Like, there's no set in stone meta just yet, so you can go exploring, see what kind of characters you like, what kind of guns you like, you know, what kind of, you know, play styles you like, anything like that. And, you know, it can work. You know, it's nobody's really ready for one set thing just yet. There's not one specific idea that you have to do, like, oh, this map I need to use glitch, or this map I need to use Dima, or, you know, any of the other characters that you can pick. It's all preference for you. And, you know, I find that to be really good, really refreshing to come into a fresh game and not have to learn all the strats immediately. I can just hop in, play the game, enjoy it, and it feels really nice. It feels really good. Now, like every other game, this game does have its problems. I'm not gonna hide the fact that, you know, it's not perfect. You know, nothing's ever perfect. And I was saying that the guns in the game did feel nice, and they did feel generally really good, but there are some pet peeves I have with certain guns, mostly being the shotguns in the game. They're the best I can describe them is shotguns that are just short range marksman rifles. And I say that because the reticles on the shotgun are just too small, in my opinion. And if you're too close to somebody, you might just miss your shots more than anything, and it feels like a detriment more than a plus. You know, you feel like you want to be not in their face usually with a shotgun, but more, you know, like 5 feet apart type of thing. And it's not what you'd expect. Personally, it caught me off guard when I first started playing and trying to use the shotgun, especially the 2-shot gun. Like, it only has 2 bullets and it has a 2.4 second reload time compared to other shotguns, which have a much better, much better reload time. That's the word I'm looking for. But and they have much better magazine size on top of that, so people just are able to pump out way better damage than you can. But another pet peeve I have is the AR rifle from Saints, like Saints guns. His AR rifle kind of zooms in into a scope, which it's weird at the first time you use it. It catches you off guard. That's another thing that catches you off guard, and it's weird. It's a weird kind of feeling in a third person game. But I mean, if you've played Wildlands, Wildlands kind of has that thing where if you zoom in the first person kind of scope, and it's a weird feeling, but you can get used to it, and you just gotta keep playing with it. I've seen a lot of people starting to use that rifle a lot more. It's definitely a strong rifle. It's just a weird scope to get used to. But another thing is the loading screens in the game currently are a little long, and they can get kind of annoying. Like I've been stuck in loading screens maybe for 3 or 4 minutes, just wondering if I should close the game down or leave it open, and eventually it does load up. It's just the game takes a bit of time. It doesn't happen every game, but it happens every so often. So that's another thing to keep in mind if you're trying to play. For the bugs in the game, I'd have to say I haven't experienced too many different types of bugs, but I have experienced bugs. And one of the ones that happen pretty often is the hotbar at the top of the screen where it shows the score and like the characters and that sort of thing. That tends to bug out and not show any of the characters or the score or the time, and you're kind of just left in the dark and you're forced to press the touchpad, which you can't see anything if you press the touchpad. So it becomes pretty annoying. Definitely really annoying. Other bugs that I have experienced, but they've only happened once, is loading into a game and everyone's the same character. Everyone was Dallas for me, and no one could buy a gun, no one could fight, no one could do anything. The whole match was just messed up, and it just wasn't really that great of an experience, to be honest. But so far, those two bugs are probably the ones I've run into the most. There is actually another bug that I think is a bug, and that's if you throw your C4, you can't immediately detonate, and your character's just stuck pressing the button, and I think you have to like throw the C4, switch your weapon, then go back and press the button. But by the time you do all that, the person's already gone. They backed off of it. So it kind of makes me feel like C4s are kind of not working at the best ability they could be, but they still can be useful. They could use that fix. Now, sadly, there's no custom games in this game just yet, so you can't go into a custom game with Dima, say, and search for snipes with his grenade launcher. You can't find any of those sort of angles. You can't go into a custom game and with Talon looking for a nice spot to put your sensor dart, and it kind of sucks because you can't explore as like thoroughly as you might want to. You would have to do it in an actual game, but it still is possible. Now, I don't think it's too big of a deal for right now, but custom games definitely do feel like I do feel like they need us work on that. That does need to come pretty soon if anyone wants to start really getting into the nitty gritty of the game. But yeah. For the community of the game, the community is generally, I want to say, toxic. I mean, you load into a game and you maybe miss a few shots, you die, and people get really upset at you. It's just no one really has that idea of it's a new game. Not everyone's gonna be perfect, not everyone's great, and it kind of bugs me. But I guess that's with every game. Everyone expects everyone to be top tier idea, like top tier player, pro player type of thing. But it is what it is, and it's all right. I mean, once you get a team of 4, you don't have to worry about any of that. Your team of 4 can understand, and you can all grow together as players. But so far, that's where I stand with the game. I think the game is definitely an amazing game. It's absolutely fun. I feel like this game has great potential. The things you can do, the people you can play with, it feels really, really good, really nice, and it's definitely an experience that I think you should try. But that's where I'm gonna leave off the video, and I really hope you enjoyed this review. This is my first review, if you couldn't tell. But I do hope you liked it. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I worked really hard on this video. It's not perfect. I'm getting there. I'm trying to get better, but you know, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and peace.